Welcome to another episode of Coffee Break Conversations. This is our series in which we have a conversation with someone involved in the language learning or language speaking or language teaching world. And today I am here with Sarah Cole. Hi, Sarah.
Hello, Mark. It's so lovely to see you and in person.
I'm delighted to be here in London. I'm in London today at the headquarters of Hachette UK.
Hachette UK, yes.
So this is where Teach Yourself is based, where John Murray Learning is based, and we're in this fantastic room today, which we'll tell you a little bit later on. But we're going to basically have a coffee break conversation. We've got our coffee here, and we will have a little chat about language learning and a wee chat about and also about books. You can see our book sitting here. We'll get to that in a short while. Sarah, would you like to introduce yourself for our audience?
Sure. Hi, everyone. My name is Sarah Cole. I am the publishing director for John Murray Learning, which publishes Teach Yourself, Michel Thomas, and lots of other books about languages and learning languages. And I've been in this job for about 11 years now.
Okay, and your background before this job was also in language teaching.
Yes, so I started out as a language teacher, English as a foreign language, and as a French teacher. And then I was always kind of making my own materials and really became passionate about that. And then I realized it was an actual job to do this. So I transitioned into publishing from teaching.
So there you go. Now, you said that today we're here in Hachette UK headquarters. What kind of books do you create here at Hachette?
Every kind of book in Hachette. We have several different divisions like Orion and Octopus and Headline that publish a lot of contemporary fiction and nonfiction, as well as learning. We have Harder Education, so it's a huge company. I obviously specialize in languages and with my team on learning in general, so a lot of like self-study.
Okay. And you mentioned Teach Yourself as one of the key focuses of your job. Teach Yourself has been around for some time.
1938.
Wow. Now, we're sitting here in this very special room,
yes.
And we've got, I think, what looks like the original collection of Teach Yourself books here.
Yes. I don't know how far back these date. I think the first one was actually French, but here we have the Italian book, which is fascinating to read because obviously language has moved on quite a bit since this edition was published. And then we also have books about teaching yourself how to fly. And what I find interesting is this one, Teach Yourself to Think, which actually feels quite contemporary.
Absolutely,
but, yeah. Critical thinking. So yes, everything that you can possibly teach yourself, including flying.
I remember finding an old Teach Yourself Polish book in this format at a jumble sale when I was about 15 or something like that, and I'm pretty certain I've still got it at home, so I'll need to look that out. But it was been fascinating, and I think, as you say, language learning has moved on. The language itself and the process of learning, in a sense, is still the same. People have been learning languages for hundreds, thousands.
And they're still talking about the best way to do
exactly.
it, right? And still trying to figure it out, which is amazing.
Now, talking of that, we've got some books, haven't we?
We do, yes. We have right here. They're not available yet. They won't be available until June, but they do exist. Our 50 coffee break series, which we have worked on together. Although I think you guys did all the hard work of actually writing all of the content, and we just tried our best to package it, as beautifully as we could.
And you've done an excellent job, I have to say.
Yeah, they're lovely to hold. This is the first time I'm seeing them because I'm obviously based in the Boston office, so I came over, and I think they're on a boat on the way over
halfway
to
across
the
the Atlantic
States.
at the moment.
Yeah, stuck somewhere, surely.
Hopefully not. But yeah, they will be available in bookshops and online and independent bookstores from June 2022. So
yes, June 2022.
And that's French, Spanish, Italian, and German. And the idea is that there are 50 coffee breaks. So we have coffee breaks which last 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and 15 minutes. So however long you have on your coffee break, you can do some real language learning short activities to improve your Spanish, French, German, or Italian 1 cup at a time, as we say. And even if you don't like coffee, tea works too.
Tea works too, or hot chocolate.
Hot chocolate. Mm-hmm.
Anything, water. And we were talking a lot about like the productivity element and the idea that you can just sort of fit this in really easily. So if you've already learned a language and want to kind of get back into it, this is a great way to sort of pick it up in a really enjoyable low stakes way,
Exactly.
and keep your language going.
Yeah, I think certain situations about language learning, people very often feel that learning a language has to be a very serious proposition and something that you have to spend a lot of time doing. What we believe at Coffee Break is very much that every little bit helps, and if you can spend 10 minutes or 15 minutes or even 5 minutes regularly, then that is so much more useful than trying to squeeze in perhaps 1 hour at the end of the week when you're struggling to do that with all the other things that you've got on in life.
It is about making it a habit and something enjoyable and fun to do.
Absolutely. And when you get something beautiful to hold and you can write in if you want. I know some people prefer not to write in their books. We've had lots of comments about this. Some people really don't want to write in a book to keep it absolutely perfect and pristine. You can do that too. You can just write on a notebook or something like that at the side.
Yeah.
So one of the things that we do in this series is ask a series of questions to the interviewees. So Sarah, I've got some quick fire questions for you.
Okay.
First of all, do you have a favourite language?
All of them. But I publish about 72 different languages, but my favorite is French because that is, other than English, the language that I'm best at.
Okay. Is there a language that you don't speak or don't have any real experience of, but would love to learn because of the sound of it or the what you associate with it? Arabic.
Oh, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I love the sound of it. I love the writing. It's just beautiful. I'm kind of intrigued by it. It feels very different. And I think that's probably why I want to sort of tackle it, because at the end of the day, all languages are very similar. So even if they sound hard or different or foreign, I would like to tackle Arabic.
Interesting. Very, very interesting. Okay, coming back to French then, do you have a favourite word in French?
I would say my favorite, probably expression, I love to say n'importe quoi. N'importe quoi.
The thing I love about that,
Tu dis n'importe quoi. It's just so much fun.
It literally means not important anything or little importance to anything or something like that, but it means absolutely anything or absolutely nothing. And
or nonsense. So
yeah.
It's hard to find the literal word for word translation of it, but it's so satisfying to say.
When someone says to you, maybe tu dis n'importe quoi, you know that you said something silly.
Yeah, exactly.
But cet après-midi, je fais n'importe quoi. I'm going to do anything I like this afternoon. N'importe quoi.
Anything's possible.
Okay, what else? What about a favourite place to practice the language that you're learning? So in this case, French.
Well, I probably have two places. I would say Paris because that's where I really learned my French. And there's this very famous kind of touristy cafe called Angelina's on the Rue de Rivoli that has the most amazing hot chocolate. I think it's chocolate à l'africaine or something like that. I can't remember. It's been so long. But it's served with like a pile of chantilly, and it's so thick you have to eat it with a spoon.
Oh, wow.
And just the pleasure of being there and immersing yourself in the language, that would be very dreamy right about now.
That sounds delicious.
Yeah, it is delicious.
And one final question in this quick fire round: where would your ideal coffee break be, and with whom?
With whom? Probably just a good friend who doesn't speak any English, so that I would be insured, because right now my French is not quite as good and I would feel like I'd probably slip into English. So probably in Normandy, Pouville, which is a tiny, tiny, beautiful little town, with friends over dinner, talking about anything and everything, and in the kind of classic French style, just debating and arguing, but then, pass the cheese and everything's okay. That's just what I love about the French.
Excellent. Now, we did say that we're in this particularly special room today, and can you tell a little bit about this room, because it's fantastic.
Yes. So Carmelite House, which is the Centre for Hachette UK, is quite a modern building. It faces the Thames. It's really beautiful. But this particular room was preserved because it was part of a historical building, and it's called the Darwin Room, which was named because John Murray Press, actually, which is the publisher I work for, published Charles Darwin.
Wow.
Yes. So we go back, way back, and this room is dedicated to him.
So it is a fabulous room. It's a pleasure to be in this special room today. And I love particularly all the old teach yourself books. It's so nice to. There's a Swahili one, shorthand, freelance writing,
Indonesian.
Yeah. What's this? Window display. Oh, fantastic. Oh, have you read this?
I have.
This is one of my favourite books. It is Patrick Leigh Fermor, A Time of Gifts. Patrick Leigh Fermor walked from London to Constantinople, I believe. So he walked all the way there, and it's a wonderful, wonderful book. So I thoroughly recommend that. That was a complete coincidence. I did not know that was sitting there.
Beautiful cover too.
Yeah. So there you have it. I hope you've enjoyed this Coffee Break conversation, and you can find out all you need to know about Coffee Break books at coffeebreaklanguages.com/books. If you've enjoyed this video, give it a like and make sure you subscribe to our channel. And that's it. Thank you for watching. Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you. Pleasure.
And happy coffee breaking.
Bye now.